Oh man. Yo. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Max and Juan cast featuring Know It All podcast. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
What's popping? What's popping? How's everybody out there in radio land
Mod.
and podcast land? What's good?
Man, what's going on
Where's
with
your
y'all
camera
fellas,
at,
man?
though?
I don't know.
Hey man, I will be cameraless tonight.
It's that sauce and that special thing he been sipping on and thinking about with this whole Dak Prescott tape that we had off air that was classic. And I wish we could have recorded it and played it back because it's going to be classic later on. Ladies and gentlemen out there in podcast world, that will be a classic tape. Trust me.
Well, like I said, man, welcome Big, welcome Tate, welcome Mod, man, welcome to the podcast, fellas. I'm excited. Today we're going to be doing a mock as me and Matt, because 0.0, 3.0, like some of these other cats out here. We do one once a year, and that's it. All right. We're going to be doing it as a perspective of a NFL GM. So, no, we're not trying to get the pick right. We'll probably get all 31 wrong tonight, knowing our luck. But this is what we will do if we're the GM of the team, all right? Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. Comment down below any thoughts, opinions you guys have about the draft because we're excited, man. And to start it all off, we got the – hold on. I got a bunch of stuff going on here. All right, so we got the Panthers on the clock. So we got Mod. Who you going with first, Mod, for the Panthers?
Man, you know, I looked at this pick. Everyone, the consensus around the league is everyone is saying Bryce Young, right? But I was listening to a couple of things that Frank Reich was talking about, and you know, honestly, in my mind, I think when they moved up, and I said it earlier, when they first moved up, they moved up for CJ Stroud. And you know, I think he's the better quarterback. Do I believe that Bryce Young is going to be a good pro? Yeah, but for the Panthers pick, I think CJ Stroud would be the pick that they would take at the number 1 for quarterback because that is their need and the reason why they moved up.
I like it. I like the pick.
CJ Stroud is the pick. You know what? I'm not really feeling it. I think there's a gap between him and Bryce Young. Does the test that recently got put out scare you guys at all? Or you think that's complete BS?
It is.
BS.
It's BS.
Have you ever heard of this test before this year? Why has this test never been spoken about?
It's one of those things that they brought up. I mean, they didn't hear about the Wonderlic test till they started using the Wonderlic test. Do I think the test has some merit? I absolutely do think it has some merit, but I don't think that, you know, a test is an end all be all, you know, because I've seen people. I mean, if a test was an end all be all, Jerry Rice wouldn't be Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice ran a 40 in a 4.6, 4.7, but he looked like one of the fastest receivers on the field we've ever saw, you know?
Well,
so, I mean, the test is just a test. It doesn't mean that, you know, this is the end all be all.
The issue is that forget the test, put on the tape. Watch the tape of CJ Stroud. That's all you got to do. Sit back and watch the tape. The tape will tell you that this kid can play quarterback. He's not a system quarterback. He can play. The only issue or only thing, because I was one of those guys that was at CJ Stroud about 2 years ago, and I'm a loyal, diehard Buckeye fan.
Well, I tell you about a Big G 2 years ago.
Yeah, you told me he was a beast. And
I told you, what I told you, he's the best pure passer Ohio State has ever had.
I agree. And the issue has always been that he didn't scramble and he didn't run. He showed that he can do it. Put on the tape, watch the tape. And you know, I ain't, you know, I'm not such a Bryce Young hater, but I'm just going to say the truth. 5'10", 195 pounds, you're going to get killed in the NFL. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. Johnny Manziel, Tua, The only guy that was little was Drew Brees that ever did anything that was little. There's not small quarterbacks that's going to make it in the NFL. So if I'm going to use draft capital from the Carolina Panthers and go all the way up and lose what I lost, I got to take the guy who's ready to play day one. Bryce Young might be, but he's 5'10", 195 pounds.
Absolutely, Big G. And you know the thing that the thing that CJ Stroud showed me in that game against Georgia was that if first and foremost, if Ryan Day keeps the ball in his hand, they win that game, right? You know, he took the ball out of CJ Stroud's hand when he was cooking, but he showed me that he's a willing runner. And if you can be a willing runner in an offense as a quarterback, you become deadly. So that was the only thing that he needed. Tate's absolutely right. His take was great as far as him being a pure passer. He's a pure passer, but his willingness to run shows me that he's going to be worth this number one pick.
All that being said, this time tomorrow, Bryce Young will be a Carolina Panther.
I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that.
Look, I think you guys are blowing out of proportion about the whole he's little stuff. I get that he's little, and I get that he has a chance to get hurt. But to me, there's a lot of quarterbacks that get hurt in the league. Everyone gets hurt. Mahomes gets hurt. There's nowhere in the NFL that you're going to avoid injury. So is he going to get hurt? Yeah, probably. And you guys are going to probably, raise your fist and be like, oh, I was right. He got hurt.
Hey, Juan, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Juan?
What's up?
Is Bryce Young and Tua probably more susceptible to getting hurt than Josh Allen is?
I would say Tua, yes, because he's way more reckless. I would say your guys' point on Bryce Young getting hurt is his size. Tua has nothing to do with size. With Tua, it has everything to do with his reckless, abandoned play. Bryce Young, he doesn't play recklessly in football. He plays cool, calm, and collected.
But if you go back and put,
I disagree with that.
Me too.
Yeah. I think I saw a lot of hits last year, and it's not always playing reckless ones. Sometimes it's just he leaves himself open to getting hit big. Like against LSU, just stand in the pocket and just stands there way too long, just gets popped.
Yeah,
that's what scares me. And I agree with you on about the Tua. It's the way he plays, but I think the size compounds the recklessness. Wouldn't you say? Like, hey, you're small and you're playing like this. Yeah, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
If you're big and you play like that, you could be maybe like Josh Allen. So I think it's a combination of the two, but there's no doubt Tua plays reckless. I think it's a good segue to bring up Bryce Young because I think you have him mocked too, right, Juan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Texans, I got Bryce Young mainly for a lot of the reasons why I brought up in our QB video, man. I just think he's the whole package besides the size. Like if that's the only thing that's going to hold you back from drafting him, it's dumb. We shouldn't do that. He's not a project. He's ready to go in big moments. He's the guy. He's always playing well, bro. And then to top it all off, what a lot of people tend to forget, Alabama this year is not the Alabama of old. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs literally carried that offense. So we seen him with weapons the year before this, and then this year got all those weapons taken from him, Jamison Williams and John Mechie. This year, he came out, he proved it, and he proved it well, bro, without all that talent on Alabama.
So I just have a question. If you listen to the comps of what the quote-unquote experts are saying, they're comparing Bryce Young to Pat Mahomes because they like his ability to scramble and make plays, okay? In the NFL, at 5'10", 195, scrambling and making plays, you're going to get popped. And because the step up from college level to NFL level, everybody's fast, everybody's big, and everybody's strong. So that's why I'm saying how he looks good on tape is because he scrambles and moves around, and then he throws a guy open, which that's a good quality. But at that size in the NFL, I don't see it, man. I mean, it might be. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback, but the risk versus the reward for injury is huge, man.
I don't
The
think
one thing,
the Mahomes stuff's fair to anybody. Just a preference that, like, if you
That's
compare
who they're
anyone
comparing
to
him to.
Mahomes, yeah, I just think that's wrong. I think you're setting yourself up for failure. It's like it'd be like comparing an NBA prospect to Shaq. It's like, no, there's only one of those
yeah,
guys.
there's only one of
That's
those.
not fair to do. I'll say this for Bryce Young. I think the athleticism's a little overblown. That's my big thing with him. It's like they talk about him like he's Kyler in my mind sometimes, and he's not. But he is smooth. He's able to maneuver the pocket, which I really like. I think the size is a little bit of a problem, but maybe it's playing within the trash when you have two edges screaming, you got to step up and there's a guy in your face. How does he throw? That's what I'm more afraid of.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I agree. I totally agree with that. My thing about Bryce Young is I think he is a great leader. I think he is a good leader of men, and that stands out. You know, his character is really good. But like you just said, when you have to, and G said it too, when you have to move around in the pocket, and you got these guys that are running 4.4s and 4.3s, and they 265 pounds, they're barreling down on you. You're gonna get mopped, and I don't know if size wise he's got the frame to support it. He's strong, but I don't know if he has the frame to support somebody falling on you, rolling on you, and then another person coming jumping over the top. It's a lot, but hey, talent wise, skill wise, he can throw the ball. Are you going to be able to throw over the first level though? You know, are you going to be able to get it over your lineman? And then when the second level, if you got taller linebackers, are you going to be able to throw over them? When you got passing routes that you're going to have to hit over the middle, that's big. That means you're going to have to get deeper in the pocket and you're going to have to develop that kind of touch. So I think Bryce Young is going to have it hard first couple of years in the league if he's thrown in the Wolves den and has to start for the Texans, which I hope he doesn't. But I mean, would
he's
you
gonna start.
waste a first round pick on him
Day
if he
one,
doesn't?
day one. Does he start day one?
They're
Yeah,
gonna
so
start.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, at this point,
Like this
he gets
ain't
thrown in the Lions
this
den,
ain't
that's gonna be in
2002 no
trouble.
more. Like these young kids are gonna have to start right now, man. It's not back in the day. These guys hit the ground running. There ain't no waiting no more. There ain't no situations where it's like, you go ahead and back up, learn the ropes. No, you're gonna get thrown into the wolves. You're gonna wind up playing right away. And my one more thing I know it's unfair to compare him to Mahomes, and I think the comparison, what really it stems from, is what all the great quarterbacks have in the league right now. It's like the Joe Burrows, the Justin Herberts, the Patrick Mahomes, that suddenness to move away from the pocket or just a sudden movement just to evade a defender. Like that's what he has. And not all quarterbacks have that. I know. I watched Derek Carr very closely. He does not have it. He has the arm. Some guys have the arm. Some guys can run, but not all guys have the feel for it. This guy has the feel. And I'm excited to see him, whether he gets drafted by the Panthers or the Texans, because he's going to get thrown into the Wolves right away. And I think right off bat, we're going to see it. It may not translate into wins because the Texans, especially the Texans, if he gets drafted by them, they don't have that much talent right now. But I think for the Panthers, they can make some noise if they really do.
I'm sorry, Juan. I'm sorry. Do you guys remember Kyler when he went one? Do you guys remember the size stuff as much as Bryce Young?
No.
Because I think we got so enamored with the athleticism, it kind of slid under. And like Kyler has been a healthier type. I mean, you could look at the games missed one, and he would be like, "Oh, he really hasn't missed that many games." But how many times late in the year do you hear Kyler's banged up, his shoulders banged up? You breathed on too hard, and he played too much COD, and his wrist hurts. That's what I think that we could see with Bryce Young. It might not be like, oh, he gets injured every week, but maybe like you hear in December and stuff, and it's like, oh wow, he's got a bum shoulder. His shoulder's messed up. His knee's aching. And you could say, oh, that happens to everybody, right? But we've seen a very clear indicator of Kyler's production in those months and play. It's really apparent.
So the issue, my last thing about just Bryce Young is just, I hope that he invests the money and the dollars in somebody coming in and learning how to bulk him up. I hope that he goes from 195 to 215, and they're able to keep the weight on him, because then I feel better about it. But at 195,
I hear you. I get it.
Well, we're gonna back in a year from now and see what's up. Maybe even 3 years, but we'll see. So 2 quarterbacks off the board. That means the Arizona Cardinals, where do they go? I think they most likely trade out of this pick, but Big G, what you got the Cardinals doing?
Trade. No, I'm playing. No, that's what I wish they would do. Is trade.
I wish
Yeah.
Bryce would fall to them and they could
Yeah.
have the twin towers of Munchkin quarterbacks.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of the twin towers? What's like 2 short things?
Right. So I did not pick Mr. Anderson at number 3.
You did.
Yeah, I picked Mr.
Yes.
Anderson.
You picked Will Anderson.
Will Anderson, ladies and gentlemen out there in podcast land, is the best player in this draft. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He's the
100%.
best athlete, best player, best ready to go day one. Going to come in the NFL, probably get double-digit sacks right away because you can't block him. You know, he's what you call the prototypical edge rusher playing defense for the Arizona Cardinals. So they're going to be enamored. I've heard stuff that they want Paris Johnson, but if you pass on Will Anderson, I just don't see it.
Well,
You know,
is that a mistake though? If you have a guy like Kyler Murray and you want to invest in keeping him healthy, I mean, you make a $250 million investment. Is it wrong? Like Tate, you're a Pittsburgh fan. I mean, we can see from the shirt, you got a young guy and Kenny Pickett. Like, I know you got a lot of needs, but is protecting that investment ever wrong? Like, is it bad if you go left tackle here? Keep the quarterback upright.
It's not bad if you go left tackle. I mean, but if you don't go left tackle, I don't think it's bad either. I mean, but I understand investing in your first round investment from last year and protecting them.
No, I hear what you're saying. I like Will Anderson one. He was our number 1 guy, both of us, right? You know, I like Tyree Wilson, and I guess if you're a traits guy, you could fall in love. And a lot of people, there's been like a backlash on Will Anderson about where's the elite traits. I mean, look, the 2022 tape wasn't spectacular, but the years before was. He looked like kind of a different guy, and he was banged up. So I have no problem with this pick. I think it's a good pick for the Cardinals, who desperately need some guys on defense because J.J. Watt's gone. Chandler Jones is gone. Zach Allen left. So who's their pass rusher? Anybody? Does anyone know?
No. The kid from Clemson. What's the guy that plays linebacker /
Isaiah
safety
Simmons?
play?
I think
Yeah.
you hit around the nose.
But you know the deal for them is, and really Will Anderson is the alpha male's alpha male. That's who he is. You know, so that dude is a beast, man. You know, and if you're able to get him, you know, good, you're going to have good things going on there. They need a personality that's just as big as Kyler Murray, and I think that's who this guy is.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. And I think you hit it right on the nose, bro. He's the best player in the draft by far. And if it wasn't for quarterback, he will be going number 1. I like to say this, like, I like to keep my thoughts the same going into November and not forgetting that. People tend to, the season goes on, it ends, and we start watching these other guys and we start getting hype. Go with what you knew and what you believed in November and middle of December. Like Will Anderson was the guy, and he still is the guy. I know everyone's enamored with Tyree Wilson and BJ Ojolari and all these other guys. I think it's him, man. And as far as the kind of slight down year for Alabama this year, I think a lot of people were looking for the wow plays, the you know, recovered fumbles for touchdowns, and oh my God, big sack numbers. Like, I think he kind of has Trayvon Walker syndrome right now. Like, what the system told him to do in Bama, it was just do your job. Do your job, set the edge, and he did it very freaking well, bro. Yeah. But once you cut him loose in the NFL, hopefully the Cardinals do it, where let him in space and let him get that quarterback and don't have to worry about anything else. He's going to be a beast, bro. Yeah, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, for sure.
Mod and Tate, you guys got anything to say about Will Anderson?
I think Will Anderson is the appropriate pick for Arizona. I don't think he's the best player in the draft. I think he's the second best. I think Jalen Carter's the best player in the draft, in spite of all this, you know, little issues and stuff that we talk about in media land and stuff like that. Just kids being kids, really. You know what I mean? I've when I was 20, 21 years old, I drove a car 110 miles on I-75 on the way up to Detroit, Michigan. I mean, you know, I've been there. I wasn't racing anybody. The other person didn't get killed, but that's a tragedy. But you know, kids do dumb stuff. He's still young, and like I challenged somebody on the Steel Curtain Network talking bad about Jalen Carter. Steelers don't need him. I said, well, what about other guys with draft time issues? Like how to work out with Warren Sapp and Randy Moss and some of those guys that had, and Laramie Tunzel. And some of these guys that had issues at draft time that fell, but their stock fell back because of the draft. It would be ridiculous if Jalen Carter, which he won't, fell to 17. This is what this discussion was about, and the Steelers didn't draft him. You know, so I just think Jalen Carter is the best player in the draft, and I think Will Anderson is the best player for the Arizona Cardinals.
Gotcha.
And he's a close number 2.
So, Tay, you got the Colts getting Will Levis. So this is the third quarterback off the board.
This is where the draft starts.
Anthony Richardson going here. Of course, our draft doesn't have any trades in it. I know, but at number 4, Colts picking Will Levis. Why isn't the pick Anthony Richardson?
Well, Will Levis is shooting up draft boards again right now. In his latest mock draft released like 20 minutes ago, Mel Kiper has him above CJ Stroud. Literally. And also some breaking news I didn't know about is the Ravens are working on a trade for D-Hop.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost done. It's almost done.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah. It's
didn't know that. But back to Will Levis to just take breaking news for the Max Winecast. So, you know, shout out to Tate. But nah, man. Will Levis, he's just that prototypical quarterback, man. He's everything that Bryce Young is not in way of stature.
It's traits, you know.
Yeah, 6'3", 225, 228, close to 230. Cannon for an arm, can be mobile, get outside the pocket, can run. And I think is the new coach there? Is it Steichen?
Shane Steichen, yeah, from the Eagles' old OC,
right?
Quarterback coach. Whatever.
What he did with Jalen Hurts, the work he did early on with Justin Herbert. I mean, I think he thinks, and the Colts upper brass think that he could do lots of good things with Will Levis.
I agree with that. I hope they don't make this pick. I would prefer Anthony Richardson personally. I'm a bigger Anthony Richardson guy. But this, to me, is where like the draft starts. You know, this is where it goes off the rails in real life. Like, this is where you see people fly up, like, not to throw shade at them on. This is where the Raiders take like Cleveland Farrell at 4. Like, after all the big guys, like consensus guys are picked, then you're like, oh crap, now what? So, like, I mean, if you're on the outside, like if this is how the mock goes, and you're a fan of Jalen Carter, like I am at number 5, like Seattle, run the pick to the board, run it up to the board. It don't get no better than that. Mod, what you think?
First of all, I don't put any credence in Mel Kiper. I mean, you know, he's the guy who is in cahoots with the quarterback coach. What's the guy's name? His brother played for the Bengals.
David Palmer. Jordan Palmer and David Palmer.
Jordan Palmer. I'm not saying Jordan Palmer's a bad dude, but everybody who works out with Jordan Palmer, Mel Kiper's just, oh my God, you know, they're the greatest ever. They're gonna, and remember, this is the same guy who said Mahomes was trash. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
hey, Mel Kiper, this one's for you, buddy. That was for you, buddy.
I really don't put any credence in what he say. I honestly believe Anthony Richardson's the better pick there, but I'm not gonna really argue. I'm just gonna say it like this: the verdict is out for Levis for me. I don't know if we should leave it to Beaver and just go on and allow him to get out here and be another bust as a Colt quarterback, or he's going to be, a Peyton Manning type quarterback that brings this franchise back to their feet. I don't know. But
What makes Levis a bigger project than Anthony Richardson?
yeah, I think so. Look, he had all of these tools and everything at Kentucky. And Sean, Big G will tell me, because I know he knows. There was a quarterback at Kentucky not too long ago that was balling with less talent, right?
Yeah,
And he
Robinson.
had talent, and he came into the years this big hoopla with all this hoopla, and really laid an egg to me. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I mean, so I think Richardson played better. And here's the other thing: I think Levis's floor is lower than Richardson's, and I think Richardson's ceiling is higher than Levis's. So that's just why that's how I feel about it.
Well, the SEC East, they both played in the SEC East. The issue was with Levis, and what's been the talk is that he had less talent than any quarterback that played in the SEC.
Yeah, he lost a lot of players from his first year.
Yeah, but
To
then
the
when
NFL.
right, but then we're getting him in individual rooms and individual workouts, and they're working him out. And the comparison with Levis is a smaller version of Josh Allen. They're saying this kid is a workout. He's a gym rat. He's a workout kid. He studies film. He sits down. He's going to learn. He's going to progressively get better. That's why that you're hearing from the talking heads that Levis possibly could be the number one pick tomorrow night. So I don't know. I think that all four of the quarterbacks have the opportunity to be good in the NFL. But if I would say the one that wasn't going to be good, Levis would be the one that I would say that he might be marginal. He might struggle.
I did hear that Frank Reich likes him too, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he loves him. Actually, he says a lot of good things about him.
But Frank Reich.
I would say this though, man.
Go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say
Frank Reich take.
I think Bus is written all over Levis, bro. Honestly, I really do. The more and more the time progresses, I think more and more like it has Bus written all over it. I seen a video on Instagram the other day. This dude posted a video of him throwing a 50-yard bomb on his knees. Like, why would you post something like that?
No, it's the classic thing. It's the Zach Wilson rolling out throw.
Why?
That's what your boy Jamarcus Russell did. That's how Jamarcus Russell got drafted.
And look what happened to him. And look what happened to him.
No, it's just a smoke.
It's
fake. It's fake news. It's like, hey, who in the NFL when you do that, when that happens in the game, let's start taking credence into that throw off the knees. That's like saying, oh, look at this pre-workout video of Anthony Edwards. He made a full court shot backwards. Okay, so when we start shooting full court shots backwards, I guess we'll take that into acceptance as a way to scout guys. It's so dumb. I hate it. I hate it.
To me,
that's Mel Kiper. That's that Mel Kiper and his crew stirring the pot. Trying to make him seem like he's that's Mel Kiper.
And look, Juan, he Jamarcus Russell is somewhere eating a bucket of chicken, driving in the Cadillac on the Raiders' money. You know what I'm saying? And I think Levis is gonna be somewhere on the golf course shooting the back nine, drinking a Budweiser in a couple years on anybody who drives some money.
Probably a Bud Light, but yeah, I agree with you.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, dude. To me, I don't red flags a lot, dude. As far as tape goes, I think it's blown out of proportion. People saying to compare him to Josh Allen. The guy has a big arm. Yes, he has the tools to be an NFL quarterback. That's why he's highly touted. He has the tools, but he does not have the wild plays like Josh Allen. Josh Allen's tape, it was the highest of the highs and it was the lowest of the lows. And to me, Will Levis, it was the average of the average. Like, oh, okay, I can see it there. You got arm here and there. You didn't see the wild plays like Josh Allen. Nowhere close.
Difference being Josh Allen is an elite NFL talent playing at Wyoming, and Will Levis is an NFL talent playing amongst NFL talent in the SEC.
I think there is a level of competition, but just from what I saw, I wasn't blown away with Levis. He left me wanting the most, and I thought he was the most overblown prospect. Honestly, I started liking Hendon Hooker more as I just watch film.
Hendon Hooker gonna be a bad boy in the NFL. He's gonna be a bad boy.
I don't think Hendon Hooker fits what Steichen wants to do with his quarterback.
No, I don't think that's it either, and especially coming off an ACL. One of my next pick, I'm in Seattle, right?
So you got Jalen Carter. So Jalen Carter falls to 5.
Yeah, let's just make it. No one's going to argue with me. This is going to be the quickest one. We're going to go to 6. Seattle, just thanks for trading Russ. Thank you so much. We get a top. We need a defensive difference maker on Seattle. You know, Jamal Adams can't be your best pass rusher anymore. We got the corners last year. We got Woolen. We got Kobe Bryant. We got a bunch of guys in the secondary now.
Wagner back in town.
Bobby Wagner back in town. You got that veteran stuff. You got the offense looking decent with Geno. I think this is where you take the best defensive talent on the board, and we go to pick number 6. This will be the quick. They'll drag this out in the NFL.
Though, Max,
they'll drag it out.
Okay. Is there any conversation in your head, though, were you even hesitant to drafting Anthony Richardson if he's on the board?
No.
Because that's the only question here.
I like Anthony Richardson. If you're sold, do it 100%. But I would rather have Jalen Carter because I'm more sure about him. Like, I don't see how he fails in the NFL unless the off the field stuff. Like, if he interviewed horrible, don't do him. But we don't interview these guys. G doesn't know him. I don't know him. Tate don't know him. Mod, no one knows him. Mm-hmm. He's a kid who made mistakes. Look, hey, when I was 20, I drove 160 miles on the highway, almost died. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you and Tate brought up the great points. I get that aspect of it. To me, the thing that worried me more about Jalen Carter is that he fucking bombed it at his pro day. He bombed it. He couldn't even finish the workout. That has nothing to do with off the field. That's on.
Oh no, I think it does because you're in jail, you're getting arraigned and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I was about to say that mentally, he's in a bad place. He was playing around. He did something, made a mistake, and somebody died. You know what I'm saying? That takes.
But he was fat and out of shape.
Yeah, he was fat and out of shape. He was. Yeah, but
I've heard
he had a solid reason to be. You feel me? With counseling and all of that, he can bounce back. Like Max said, we don't know what's going. We don't know him personally, but I mean,
and I've heard several times. Look at the tape. That's all y'all heard. A lot of y'all say that already.
Oh yeah, the tape will tell you that Jalen Carter.
Yeah,
Jalen Carter.
No question about if we're going to say he's number 1 pick.
Yeah, he has some Pro Bowl, like could be a Hall of Famer type. When you start doing comparisons to him,
100%.
But this is the question. Will Pete Carroll get the most out of Jalen Carter? Because Pete Carroll's a rah-rah guy.
I like
football, he's a rah-rah guy.
I like the match. Pete Carroll energizes guys.
I think Pete Carroll's good for him. Oh, the only one that we better is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
But Pete Carroll, and not just saying that because it's still just kind of how guys respect and kind of revere Tomlin. Young guys, especially.
I think there's a little homer in that, but it's also true. It's also very true.
Mike Tomlin's a rah-rah guy.
Pete gonna roll one, get a sack out there and have a bong or something, and tell him to get, sit in the yoke.
The Raiders aren't drafting him at 7. Okay, he'll be fine.
I'm just saying. Pete know how to work with those type of personalities. I totally agree with Tate.
Hey, Ma, speaking of coaches, man, what was that Jerry Jones did to Mike McCartney yesterday, man?
Man, we're not talking about Jerry. Jerry talking about if a player get to us at 26, he gonna have warts. I'm like, man, what is wrong with you, Jerry? So let's not talk about Jerry. He probably somewhere right now with a prostitute.
Wow.
No, I think that's Robert Kraft.
All right, let's go. Mod, let's go ahead and transition to your number 6 pick with the Detroit Lions. You got him picking Christian Gonzalez. So why'd you make that pick for the Lions, man?
Yeah, man. When I thought about it, I thought about Detroit last year, man. Honestly, the Lions were really, really good, man. They were a step away from the playoffs. Their defensive line was really good. I just thought their defensive backs needed an upgrade. And Christian Gonzalez is probably the best DB in this draft. next to the guy from Maryland. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's a great. I mean, he's a track guy. He's gonna be able to, like to take a page from G's book. It's 11 personnel league. You got to be able to run with them deers, and he's that guy. So I think this will help Detroit take a step in the right direction to be a solid defense.
I love this pick. I think Detroit needs it badly. They need somebody.
Cam Sutton and Christian Gonzalez on the corners is causing problems in the NFL.
Look,
Cam Sutton and Christian Gonzalez is causing a whole lot of problems.
If they wind up getting Christian Gonzalez, man, you can argue they got the best defensive backfield in the league with their safeties. Kirby Joseph, Cam Sutton, Christian Gonzalez. Like, the list goes on, bro. They're going to have DBs for days, and the Lions are going to be crazy. And I think hopefully they don't mess up this pick, man. They don't go somewhere off the wall like crazy. But with Mod as the GM for the Lions, I think we should be good because I love the pick. Christian Gonzalez, perfect fit. I think we're going to move on to the next corner. We'll tie them in together. I think this guy for the Raiders, Devin Witherspoon, I would be happy with either one. I think it's 1A, 1B. It's whatever flavor you want. You want a guy that can get in the run game, get his nose dirty. It's Witherspoon. You want a guy that's smooth and got the speed and the length, Christian Gonzalez. But I love Witherspoon, man. He can play fly. He can play outside. I'm not scared about the size. This year, I will love him if Raiders drafted him. GM as the Raiders in this aspect, Witherspoon. What do you guys think?
My comp for both the guys, and I heard a lot of flack about it from people like Big G, and I get it because they were Steelers fans, and I said Christian Gonzalez's comp would be Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson was a great athlete, had the same size, ran track, did all the things Christian. Doesn't mean he's going to have a Rod Woodson career. That was just his comp coming out of college. And my comp for Devin Witherspoon, you remember who it was, Big G? It was Darrelle Revis.
Dude, so he's Darrelle Revis. If Darrelle Revis ever won, but like the only thing that's different is like he'll stick his head in there and kill somebody.
Yeah, like, he puts his face in the sand.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could see Detroit going Witherspoon just because Detroit's tough. They love these tough guys, but still, I love both these picks. I was going to say that too, Max, because Aaron Glenn, Detroit's defensive coordinator, they say Devin Witherspoon reminds him of how he played when he was in the league. Come on, Campbell doesn't love this guy who just kills people. Come
on.
Yeah,
Campbell would too. Exactly.
No, I love the picks though, and both these teams are so desperate in need of like an alpha corner. When was the last time you guys covered anybody? Like 5 years ago?
Hey, but fellas, listen.
Yeah, we haven't had a good corner since Nambi.
I'm in the heart of Big Ten country. I'm not sold on Witherspoon. If you go back and you look at the tape when he played against big time wide receivers in the Big Ten, he got roasted. He got on a regular. He was getting roasted. I like if you're going to do a comp and compare the two corners. Go back and look. I'm telling you.
Roasted.
He got roasted. Go look and see what Emeka Buka, Marvin Harrison, Chris Olave.
If we're gonna say he got roasted, Wilson, Christian Gonzalez got roasted
too. Yeah.
Go back and look at Christian Gonzalez.
Big G.
Go back and go look at Christian Gonzalez.
Big G. He was first team All Big Ten and first team All American.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm telling you, he struggled. If you go back and look at Joey Porter's tape, Jr. versus versus Witherspoon's tape, Joey Porter played better at corner in the Big Ten than he did. I'm telling you, he did. So I'm not saying he's not going to be bad.
Joey Porter is a flag waiting to happen.
No, Joey Porter Jr.
And that being said, if I had the choice at 17 for the Steelers, I would take Witherspoon over Porter Jr.
I would.
If that was my choice.
I would. I think that Witherspoon is going to. There's an issue about when you're supposed to be a big time player coming from a program, from a big time conference, and your program's not been any good. There's some struggle with that.
Well, I don't think the corner is going to change stuff for Illinois. That's but it's a quarterback or something. Look,
go and look the tape.
I think Witherspoon suffers from being over aggressive at times, where he's like, I see a slant route, I want to make a play, I'm going to jump it, and they double move him. I mean, first of all, it's Marvin Harrison Jr. Guys in the NFL probably can't cover this kid. So I think it's overblown. I love the picks one. I know how happy you'll be if this happens for you. I know your dream one is to get Jalen Carter at 7, just to finally get some pass rush help for Max Crosby. But honestly, I think, and the thing we're not talking about is if you're Atlanta, how good's the board looking for you, right? If you're Atlanta Falcons and you're like, oh, we're just sitting pretty at 8.
Yeah. Rocket Raccoon backpack to the board.
That's just because I think it goes back to what you said, Max, about the Jalen Carter pick with Seattle. If you're in love with the guy, like if I'm in love with Anthony Richardson, which I'm not, you pick him if you're in love with him. If you hate him, like you go somewhere else. And the Falcons, man, Anthony Richardson's off the board with Big G. So
yeah, the
Big
question
G got
is,
Falcons picking Anthony.
Do you love him? Or do you just like him?
If I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I told you, said it. Rocket Raccoon backpack to the podium. Full throttle.
One has no clue who that is, first of all. One is that reference slowly went over his head.
Marvel, there's a little dude called Rocket Raccoon, and he got a backpack that gets him real fast. The place is real fast. And I'm telling you right now, if Anthony Richardson's sitting there at Atlanta at 8, they can't get the card there fast enough. This kid has the highest ceiling out of every player in this draft. He has the highest ceiling. With the right coach and the right coaching up, Anthony Richardson could rival another guy that had the same skill set that was a little bit smaller down there in Atlanta about 25 years ago. He's going to electrify that stadium, man. He's going to electrify it because the kid can play. You can't, just like in the NBA, you can't teach pure athleticism and pure size. This kid's 6'4", basically 5. He's 240 pounds, basically. He runs a 4.4 40-yard dash, and he's got a cannon for an arm. What's not to like about it? He's going to do what he's got to do. But I think you got to sit him for a little bit. I think you got to sit him just for a little bit.
I would say this, man. Looking at it from the Atlanta Falcons perspective, if they pass up on a quarterback here, and especially if Anthony Richardson's on the board and he's staring them in the eye and he's like, pick me, and they pass up on him, you guys need to remember this is going to be the 4th quarterback they're going to look back at that they didn't get. Justin Fields didn't pick him. Deshaun Watson lost the sweepstakes with him. Who was the other one? Lamar Jackson, another guy that's on the market. They're going to lose out on him. And then if they pass up on Anthony Richardson, that's going to be 4 quarterbacks they're going to look back at, and they're going to be like, we picked Desmond Ridder out of this guy, and then if Desmond Ridder winds up being bad, people are going to get fired because the Atlanta Falcons have a team around them, dude. Legit team.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. One, I don't know how everyone else feels, and I'm ready to move on to the next pick, but Atlanta's been good. People are going to say, oh, look at the record. Look at their quarterbacks the last 2 years. You got old Matt Ryan. You have whatever they had last year, Mariota and Ridder, and they're contending. They're in the hunt. You put a quarterback in there who can make some impact plays, you might be a playoff team next year. And the great thing about Richardson is, hey, if they're not making him with his arm, he might win some games with his feet like Justin Fields year 1, year 2. I love the pick for Atlanta. And, I hate to be this guy, but I think it means something in Atlanta if the quarterback's African-American. Just the way they've responded to those guys in the past. Like Michael Vick's an icon, rightfully so. And I would love Anthony Richardson to go to Atlanta.
I agree. 100%.
Any I'm sure Mod hates it because he just hates everything.
So you're on the boat. Big G, you wanted Colts. You wouldn't want Anthony Richardson, correct? For the Colts, for them.
Yeah, if I'm the Colts, I'll take Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love the Anthony Richardson pick, actually. And I agree.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to.
I agree with Big G.
I gotta poke fun at the Cowboy fan. I'm
ready
sorry.
To go to number 9, man. The Chicago Bears. Tate got him picking first lineman off the board, man. Top 10 pick, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State, offensive tackle. Tate, tell me why you picked Paris Johnson for the Bears, man.
I think the Bears would have took Jalen Carter if he fell. But I think Paris Johnson is just the best all around lineman. I think Skoronski is the most technical, the best, the most sound. I think Broderick Jones is the most powerful, most athletic. But Paris Johnson is just all those things together. He's the best of each of those things. And the Bears need somebody to block up front for Justin Fields, like we said earlier when we were talking about Kyler Murray and the potential of Paris Johnson going there at 3. Well, Justin Fields needs the same thing. He needs protection. They're starting to incorporate some pieces there with Darnell Mooney. I think Chase Claypool has some talent. He has got his own way. And is it DJ
Moore? I mean,
DJ Moore.
You get DJ Moore too, basically. Like you got a top 10 receiver in football.
Yeah. So I think they're making moves. They're going to have a lot of capital. I think they'll make more trades in this draft and get some more young talent. But I think Chicago's going in the right direction. And with Aaron Rodgers leaving, I feel like that division is wide open. I think Detroit could be the favorites going into the season, but it's still wide open.
Yeah, pick is no brainer, man. I think this is the most predictable pick of the draft as far as position goes. Like everyone knows the Bears are going to pick offensive line. It's just who is it going to be? And they're going to have their own pick. All of them are going to be on the board. And Paris Johnson, if you think he's the best guy, I don't have no problem with it. Me personally, I think Darryl Wright is the best offensive tackle in the class. But Paris Johnson ain't too bad himself. I love it too. So are we good to move on to number 10 pick for Max? Because I know he's dying for Eagles, man.
Let me run up to the board.
Bijan Robinson? Who you picking?
No. He'll be around. It's a running back. Who cares? Let's get an edge rusher. Let's get a freak of nature. Big G gonna hate it, whatever, because he wants Tyree Wilson. Look, I love traits. This guy was, I think, number 2 on my board. Look, he's a big old SOB. He can go inside. Look, the Eagles. Look, low-key, I've been thinking about Bijan a lot, but I can't draft a guy named after a mustard, my least favorite condiment, first of all. Look, I like Tyree Wilson. The Eagles are an older team on the front. I know he went to the Super Bowl, but where's that pass rush from the Super Bowl? It died out. A little old.
Man, Max, I can't just give you the trash sign, man. I got a special Philadelphia Eagles hot trash sign colors for you, for the Philadelphia Eagles, because that is a horrible pick, man.
Well, tell your sign making company, aka your family, that needs some work. But no, look, I really like this pick. I like this guy. I think this is going to be like the run in the draft where, the edges are gone. We're going to see a lot more skill positions because we haven't had a receiver in the top 10. There's no running back, no tight end. So this is going to after this, it kind of thins out. There's no more, the DBs to me fall off. I love Keely Ringo, but they fall off one. This is the only guy I feel like is worth a top 10 pick. This guy, you hit on him, he might be double-digit sacks the rest of his career. And it's scary. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little scared, but I'm taking a swing because my Eagles can afford to take a swing.
No, I don't think that's taking a swing, though. I think as long as you go defense and as long as it's an edge or a corner, because that's what you're going to need in about 2 years. Because you got some old players. You got Brandon Graham. You got Darius Slay. Like these guys. Fletcher Cox.
Guys.
Exactly. It has to be defense. Now, if you guys get fancy and anywhere in your head, were you thinking about Jackson Smith, a receiver, or
no? I didn't
Bijan?
think about. I would love him. I'd love him. I love Jackson Smith and Jake, but no, I wasn't thinking of it. The guys I wanted were Gonzalez and Witherspoon, but you guys took them off the board. I love Paris Johnson, but do the Eagles really need a tackle? No, it's not Dyer. I would love him. It's too early for the skill guys right now for me.
That's a great pick, man. I mean,
thank you.
You got Tyree. And I agree with you. I'm pedigree and upside. When I'm drafting, pedigree and upside,
especially in the top 10, right? Like Mod, you're a guy who I know the Cowboys don't draft in the top 10, but do you at least get the pedigree? Like, wouldn't you want a guy with pedigree?
Absolutely. I think Tyree Wilson is an enigma. I mean, because he's been on everybody's top and in everybody's top 10 in the draft. But he's the player that I think could actually end up falling. And I think he would only fall because People that actually see him play. The scouts scouted and they know that this guy's a talent. But
Well, I
you
think
know,
I think I
sometimes,
think I think 10 is a fall.
yeah, okay.
Listen, I promise you, Max, you're going to be disappointed because the Philadelphia Eagles is going to run the Bijan Robinson card to the podium real fast.
You
And
know,
But do you like the position pick though? Did he get the position right? You
Yeah,
just want a different guy.
Yeah, I don't dislike Wilson, but Bijan Robinson is a generational talent. I didn't believe it until I really honed in on the tape. This kid is going to be the best running back in the NFL within 2 years. He's going to be the best running back. I'm
See,
telling
But
you.
what if they got Gibbs at 30?
yeah, that's my thing.
I
It's like
think, but
there's no
that's
generational.
that's
Unless-
playing Russian roulette.
But I mean,
Because I think
unless
Gibbs
Bo
gonna be
Jackson
gone.
walking through the door, there ain't no generational guys no more. We
What-
said it about Saquon. Look what happened with him. They
So-
get hurt. They're not impactful enough. I wish it were false. I love running backs. I would love one. I love Bijan. But there's no such thing as generational.
So I'm gonna say it on the Max and Wine podcast, just like how I've been saying it on the KNOITALLZ podcast. The NFL is changing. I called 11 personnel 2 years ago. I said when they go NFL and you start getting college athletes coming to the NFL playing quarterback, you're going to change the 3 wide, spread the ball all over the field, and run zone read. By them changing it and the rules shifting to benefit the offense, running back is going to become a pivotal position in NFL. And over the next 3 to 5 years, you're going to have a running back to get you over the top. If you don't have a running back, you're not going to be able to do it. Now, can you find a guy in the second or third round? Maybe. But you got to have a guy that can take pressure off those zone read quarterbacks, pulling it and running it. Because if not, they're going to get knocked every time.
That's where all these guys are, though. All the whole
pass
league,
rush.
every NFL team, they're everywhere. All these 7th round, undrafted, 3rd rounders, 4th rounders. They're
Zeke's
all over
still
the
out
league.
there.
There's
Oh,
only
yeah,
about
Zeke.
2 or 4.
Right, Mod?
But nobody believed me when I said 11 personnel was going to happen. And I'm telling you right now, the running back is on his way back. The running back is on his way back.
Well,
Mom,
nobody. I'm not questioning that, and I'm not questioning Bijan. And I, again, what I say is because we're going to talk about Bijan at some point. But what I'm saying to you is I agree with Mac's pick only because of the simple fact that you have to start replenishing that defense. That defense is the thing that got them and made the Eagles dominant. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a good, solid defense. And they're doing that with the pick from last year, the big boy from Georgia. They're doing that with Nakobe Dean, the pick from Georgia. They have replacements that are stepping in. So I think this was a great pick, Max.
Thank you.
The most important position in the NFLs are quarterback, O-line, and D-line. A cornerback. But like running back, you can get a good running. You can get the kid Chardonnay from UCLA in the 3rd round and be happy.
It's not Bijan Robinson.
And it sucks too. Look, this has nothing to do with Bijan, but as far as the draft goes, I'm not saying this makes him bad, but it's even worse of the fact that this is one of the deepest running back classes we have seen come out, and it's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt him because you can get so many other guys, and like why would you spend that draft capital on a guy to do that? Like, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it. Sorry.
I get it.
So we're 10 picks through. I'm gonna recap the picks real quick. Panthers, Mod at 1 with the Panthers pick CJ Stroud. Juan picked it 2 for the Texans. Bryce Young. Big G for the Cardinals picked Will Anderson, edge rusher. Tate picked for the Colts Will Levis. I picked Jalen Carter for Seattle. Ran that card to the board. Mod back with the Lions picked Christian Gonzalez from Oregon, DB. Juan with the Raiders, his hometown team. Devin Witherspoon. Big G just ran this to the podium for the Falcons. Anthony Richardson. Tate for the Bears got Paris Johnson. And I for the Philadelphia Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles, took Tyree Wilson. So we're like 55 minutes in, guys. Let's for the next 10 picks, unless we're gonna do a real NFL draft and be here for 6 hours. Let's go. Let's pick up the pace. I don't know. I don't know about you guys. We got 4 hours this tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with you. Let's go.
Okay. So Mod for the Titans.
All right, number 11 pick. We got Peter Skoronski, man. Mod. Why'd you go here, man?
Simply put, they got a quarterback last year, need to protect the guy, and they still have, somewhat of something that resembles a running game. Need an offensive line. Tackle's the best way to go for me, and I think this is the guy with Peter.
Yeah, no Taylor.
And they're rebuilding with that pick.
Yeah, they
that's
lost
what
Taylor
tells
Lewan.
me.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I don't.
All right,
I don't think Malik Willis is the guy either.
Nope.
Yeah. They're rebuilding, man. And to me, you go offensive lineman, that's safe pick. I don't see anyone else that you pick right there that's crazy. Like, oh my God, this is gonna get us back over the top of being contenders anymore. This is where the draft starts to get interesting, man. I flipped it upside down with this one, and I could have went a lot of other routes, but I wanted an offensive weapon for Bryce Young in this mock draft. I went Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah. I think he's great, man. My comp for him was Travis Kelce, and it really is crazy because you put on the tape and he looks very similar to him. And I could have went Jackson Smith and Jigba. I could have went Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison. But to me, to get a young quarterback like Bryce Young, a top tight end, it's invaluable,
Best friend.
bro. Like I gotta go
friend.
Kincaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the pick.
Yeah, me too.
I would think they would trade back and get this guy a little later, but I think it's matches up with it.
Yeah. All right, let's go Packers. All right, Packers. G had the pick. He went Jackson Smith and Jigba out of Ohio State. I smell a little bias right here, man. That's what I'm smelling right here.
Oh, the sign. No, wrong sign. Put the bias sign up.
Listen. They don't. What do they have to lose in Green Bay?
I will be mad.
Aaron Rodgers just walked out. Aaron Rodgers just
round receiver for Jordan Love, first year on the job. That's
I love it. I hope they do this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they're going to do it. Jackson Smith is BP at this point. He's BPA. He's best player available. He's the number one receiver in the draft. You got to get Love another weapon. Let's give him the weapon that he needs so he can show that he's going to be able to carry the Packers franchise moving forward. So Jackson Smith, hey, you ain't gonna like the cold weather up there because you're a Texas kid, but get used to it. You better.
Ohio State's been getting them ready for it. Ohio's got them ready for it.
Yeah. But Jackson Smith and Juka at Green Bay, they're gonna be pleased, real pleased with that pick.
I love it with the news that we got yesterday with Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. I would love to smack in the face to Rodgers saying, we'll finally receive for you. Not for Jordan Love. I actually like, even though I don't think Jackson Smith is the best receiver in the class, I do like the fit for the Packers though, because of the fact that they have Christian Watson, and then you add like Jackson Smith into the puzzle. He fits in so perfect. So I like the pick, bro.
I have to say this. He is the best route runner in this draft. JSN is absolutely.
I disagree.
Best route runner. He may not be the best receiver, but he is the best route runner. I guarantee you. If you saw Chris Olave and I can't believe that Max even had the audacity.
He did too. Juan did too. I just want to point it out.
Offensive rookie of the year. But anyway, what I'm saying to you is both of those guys said Jackson was better than them. And Brian Robinski has these guys ready to go and get into the league. He is the number one wide receiver whisperer.
Brian Hartline,
excuse me. And he gets them ready and he gets them prepared. They're ready to get to the league and they're ready to show up and show out. This guy's a great thing because I think he's going to get open. See, Christian Watson, he's that other guy who takes the top off the defense. You need somebody who's going to be open. I think he is going to be. I think it's a good pick, and I think he's definitely going to be the new quarterback, Jordan Love's best friend.
I'm with it. Next pick. Let's go.
I just disagree. He's the best route runner. I don't feel that way. I feel like it's Jordan Addison.
He is. If you look at his combine scores for the shuttle drills and those things, he's the
fastest in history.
Way better than everybody else in those shuttle drills.
I agree. I'm not a big Jordan Addison guy. Juan, who's up next? Who's the 14th pick? Patriots?
The Empire. The evil Empire.
Yeah, we got the Patriots pick. Sorry, Max. I'm like lagging over here, man.
No, it's okay.
Lucas Van Ness for Tate for the Patriots. Tate, why'd you pick Lucas Van Ness?
I just think that's a fit. He seems like a Patriot type of guy.
Yes,
he does.
I mean, he's a versatile chess piece. He can be on the end or play in the interior of the defensive line. And it just seems like a Belichick kind of guy. He has the relationship with Nick Ferentz, right? Yeah, Nick Ferentz, Kirk Ferentz. They have a good relationship. His son actually coached with Belichick, Kirk Ferentz's son, and so they have that relationship. And so Bill Belichick has extreme intel on Lucas Van Ness, and I just think it's just a great player that fits what the Patriots want to do.
He reminds me of Richard Seymour and Mike Vrabel combined. That's sort of like who he is. But that's a Patriot guy. Look how much success Vrabel and Seymour had playing defensive end in New England.
I just think you're wrong. I think they're going to trade down 100%. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love the pick for them. I think if we were going to take a vote on who drafted the best for the team, I think that's the number one pick right now. Yeah. It is so match made in heaven. I think one texted in the group and goes, "Geez, that's such a Patriot pick."
That's a great pick. That's a great pick. I'll tell you, I'm digging that pick.
And it matches. And he's a good player.
Yeah, for sure.
A pedigree. Like
to me, you could just move them all over the place. That's what makes them good, and that's what Patriots are meant to do. You want to be able to play anywhere. So he fits it to a T, bro. I love the pick.
Yeah.
We got Jets next on the clock at number 15. My boy Darnell Wright for the Jets, man, out of Tennessee. Max, why'd you go here?
I just thought about what the Tampa Bay Bucks did when Tom Brady, and they said, "Hey, we got this old quarterback, can't move too good. Let's go get a stalwart right tackle, Tristan Wirfs. Been an All-Pro since he entered the league. Darnell Wright's going to be the same. Might have to play left tackle. I would love if Mekhi Becton could play and be healthy, and you got those two guys, because Aaron Rodgers would just be clean all day, and that's what you need to do. You just invested a first-round pick and a few other things in Aaron Rodgers. Let's go out and protect him. You got Garrett Wilson, who I was wrong about 1, 2. Ahmad, you're still wrong about everything else you ever said. But you guys got talent there. Yeah, a receiver's sexy, right? But let's get a good O lineman, because the O linemen are tough. We know that. How often do you find good O linemen in the 7th round? You don't really. You don't.
Every now and then you get a good one in the 3rd or the 4th. But most of the time you got to go 1st, 2nd round to get a good to a great one.
Yeah.
So I like the pick.
And let's go when it's ready to go. I don't want to wait a year. This guy's the beast in pass pro one. You loved him.
They don't have time to wait. They got to go now.
Yeah.
And Rodgers long in the tooth. They got to go, Yeah.
And it's Mekhi Becton insurance, like you said. So I love the pick, man. I think he's the best tackle in the class. Let's go ahead and hit 16. Commanders. Pick Cyrus Torrance for Mod. Why'd you pick a first guard taken off the board?
So when I look at the Commanders, man, they have a new quarterback, young guy who from North Carolina. What's his name again, Tate?
Sam Howell.
Howell, yeah. So young guy, they need to protect him. That's the thing that Washington struggles with in pass protection. And I just think there's somebody there who can actually help him. He's really good against as far as run is concerned, and then they got running backs. Washington has some running backs, man. So if we're looking to get that offense started, the defense have kept them in games a lot. But if we're looking to get that offense started, we got to make sure that line is solid. So that's why I went there with Osiris Torrance.
So you like him better than Broderick Jones?
I do. And maybe it's because I've watched a lot of his film, because it was one of the guys who was on the Cowboys radar. But I like him. I like him. I think so if his arms were longer, he could have been a tackle. He just has shorter arms. So you move him inside, he's a pure guard, and that's a guy.
Hey, G, just be quiet and let him fall to the Steelers, bro. Derek Jones, come on.
Broderick Jones.
Broderick Jones, yeah.
Yeah, I know. But he's a beast.
He is a beast.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the Steelers, man, because I know Tate's dying to talk Steelers, man. He just he looked right there, just waiting.
You tell by his shirt?
Steelers, they picked Bo Derek Jones. Why'd you pick Jones?
Is it Broderick or Bo Derek? Can somebody please tell me? I've heard it so many ways.
It's Broderick, man.
You know my name, Bro Derek.
I was going to say, like, that's
Broderick.
how it's spelled, though.
Broderick. Hey, man, I'm reading it how it sounds, bro.
Hey, so just me and Big G coming in with mine, coming at you from the know-it-alls, but me and Big G be on the Steel Curtain Network too. So hence the Steelers stuff.
Yeah.
But this pick, this is like my ideal pick, man. I struggled because I had available to me both Joey Porter Jr. and Broderick Jones.
Oh.
Yeah, and that was tough for it is, Big G. In the Steeler verse, that's tough right now.
Ooh.
But how it worked out, man, like we said earlier, Max, when you said about Kyler Murray and the potential of drafting Paris Johnson protecting your investment. Kenny Pickett's that guy. I'm not saying he'll get no MVP votes next year or nothing like that. But he's that guy. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Pivot podcasters that he was on there. He's working down in Florida with the receivers and just studying and doing everything. He's ready to go. So you got to get this guy. I think what happens with the Steelers, Broderick Jones comes in and replaces Dan Moore at left tackle.
Yep.
And I think Dan Moore and Chooks Okorafor compete for the right tackle.
Yep.
And if Dan Moore can beat Chooks out, we can let Chooks go after next year because Chooks is making $13 million.
And in my opinion, not worth the $13 million that he's getting.
I don't think so either. But it's the deal. It's the deal he got. He's not worth $13 million. But so to rebuild the line, we got your boy from Philly, Max Somalia.
He's a road grader. I'm just tired. If I'm a Steeler fan, of we can't run the ball. We haven't been able to run the ball in 3 years. And I'm not the biggest Najee guy, but I'll just say this. It's not Najee's fault. There's nowhere to run.
Oh, right. We're going to run the ball this year, buddy.
That's about to change. If you watched after the bye last year, I think we were like top 3 in rushing after the bye, second half of the season.
Well, let's see some holes get open. That's all I want to see. Let's see a good guy. Like when you think of the Steelers, you always think of, the trenches. This is what that pick does for me if I'm a Steeler fan, and I'm not. But I love the pick, Tate. I think you're hitting out of the park.
Thanks, man. That's the guy I want.
I'm tired of seeing Najee break like.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, I'm tired of seeing Najee break like 15 tackles at this line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's been doing his first 2 years in the league, and still got to 1,000 both years. But I think it was tough. This was a tough pick just because Joey Porter was there. But at the end of the day, I had to go, like you said, with the trenches, and that's kind of the philosophy of Andy Wild. You know that, Max. He was in Philly for a long time, and so I'm rolling with Broderick Jones.
I like it.
Or bro Derek Jones. My boy, bro Derek.
Bro. That sounds harder.
Bro Derek.
Who's that? That's Bro Derek.
Bro Derek.
Yeah, come on.
All right. Speaking of Joey Porter Jr., Big G, Lions up next at the 18th pick. You go ahead and go double corner? Double corner for the Lions?
Double corner. 11 personnel.
Double dipping.
This pick's trash, guys. He was talking crap about my 10th pick. Let's just get a guy that holds every play.
Terrible. You tell me it's terrible, but it's 11 personnel. To win in the
Holes
league, you
every
got to have a
play.
slot. You got to have a slot corner.
He
You got to have
can't
an
run.
X. Listen, they're gonna be all right at the running back. They fine. Believe me, they're gonna be all right. In this league, you got to be able to shut them WRs down. They're trying to listen. Campbell is a defensive guy. He's all in with the defense. I think he's got his defensive line solved. I think he's got his linebackers solved. Now we got to make sure that when we go three corners, we're gonna lock you down.
He could have solved the defensive line if he picked Miles Murphy or Will McDonald or somebody.
Yeah. But I listen, Joey Porter, I wanted him for the Steelers, but I couldn't pass up on Jones. But I was like, okay, who are they going to fight in the NFC? Who they got to fight, right? So in your division, you got to fight the Minnesota Vikings, and the Chicago Bears. But in the NFC, you got to fight the San Francisco 49ers.
So G,
you got to fight them.
Let me ask you a question. Where do they put him at? Slot? They're
Slot
already
corner.
good. They put him at slot?
That's the
Slot.
worst position possible for him.
Nah,
okay.
Cam Sutton will play slot.
Move Cam into the slot and put him outside. You go Gonzalez and Porter on the outside, put Cam in the slot. My thing is, what are you going to do?
I just want to say, shout out to Silver and Black Allegiance. They said the Steelers need more than a line; they need prayer. I can't say that that's the truth. Silver and Black, I can't say that's the truth.
Did the Steelers beat the Raiders last year? Kenny Pickett, did that happen?
Nope.
No, it did happen.
Barely.
The Steelers won. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Steelers
I mean,
won.
Raiders were tanking at that point in the year, right? That's they tanked after that. That was Derek Carr's last game. They were trying to win. They were trying to lower.
Joe,
Derek
what are you
Carr
doing,
to the
man?
ground.
I didn't want to start up the ruckus here. Joe just had to start up the ruckus, bro. What the hell? All right, look. I want to stick on the Joey Porter pick. Look, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. To me, you need another guy with Aiden Hutchinson. Who the hell's their another defensive end? Can you guys name them? Because I don't fucking know. I can't think of his name.
Romeo,
you know why? Because it's nobody.
The carcass of Romeo Aquara. Yeah.
I'm going to look it up.
He's from Notre Dame, I think, Max. I think you're right.
Yeah, dude, I would love Miles Murphy right here.
Yeah, to me, I don't care who it is. I know you guys don't like him as much as me. Nolan Smith is staring me right in the face. I'm going Nolan Smith.
Oh, that'd be fun.
End of question, bro. That's just me though.
I might
as far as
I might agree with Juan.
I like it, Juan.
And as far as Joey Porter goes, my man's is a flag waiting to happen. Straight up. He's a flag waiting to happen. And to me, he's going down the path of like a guy like Damon Arnett as far as on the football field. Because Damon Arnett was a very aggressive guy, really good in man. But when it came down in the league, he could not get it.
Hey, Big G, hold your trash sign up. Hold your trash sign up for Damon Arnett. A Buckeye, no less.
Hold it up. Hold it up, man.
He was beyond trash. He just wasn't trash, man. He was way out there. That boy might have been tire fire. You know, he might have been tire fire. You know, that boy wasn't, you know, he wasn't, he's a Buckeye, but man, he in the league, he hit. You know.
Ugh. So you brought up Nolan Smith, and I can see the document. I know who you picking. Tell me why.
Yeah, to me, no questions asked. Like, I'm Nolan Smith for me, best player on the board. It fits a need for the Bucks. They don't get fancy. Shaq Barrett getting long in the tooth, man, getting old. I don't even know if JPP's still on the roster, but you cannot depend on a guy like that.
No,
I'm going Nolan
You compare
Smith,
him with
bro.
Joe Tryon.
To me, he's the second best pass rusher in the class.
Yeah,
I got a question. What percentage does Hendon Hooker go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
I think
they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback.
That'll be a massive mistake. Massive mistake. I'm sorry. I don't touch Hendon Hooker in the first round. That's just me. Okay. I don't. No way.
I mean, yeah.
I
can't.
Speaking of the another GM in this live chat disagrees with me. Max Hendon Hooker.
Hey, I couldn't see him for the Bucs, but I could see him for Seattle because because it's just stash him here. Gino's there for at least a year or two, and I know they're gonna say he's 25. How much football does he have? hey, dude, he's not 40. He's not 40. He's 25. He's a young dude. Let him recover from the knee. Let him take a year. Hey, if you draft him in the first, and unless Geno Smith's an MVP next year, which he probably has more of a chance to get MVP votes than Dak Prescott next year, topic for another day. I think it's perfect. You let him sit a year, you roll the dice with Geno, best of both worlds, and you let this guy come in and take over. And Hendon Hooker's got a lot of talent.
That's why I don't think he goes to Tampa Bay. Not that they wouldn't need him. It's just that I don't think Baker makes it the whole year, man. Baker Mayfield, I don't think he makes it the whole year. And there would be calls to try to rush Hendon back. So I do like the pick at Seattle. Either Seattle or the Vikings. I saw him going.
But they're gonna go Baker, and then after that they're gonna roll Trask out there, and they're gonna see if he can roll, and if not, Hooker's getting a redshirt year. So that's why I said I think he fits. If I had any team I had to pick, he fits two places, either in Minnesota or Tampa Bay, because they need a quarterback. You know, that's just me.
But not in the first round.
Y'all keep saying it, but I'm telling you, Hooker's going in the first
round. I don't think you touch him.
He's going in the first
round.
Look,
the tape wasn't that amazing. The tape wasn't that amazing. He's old. Plus, he's hurt. No, sorry. 3 strikes. You're out. You're out. Sorry. You're not a first rounder.
If Brandon Weeden goes in the first round, Hendon Hooker can go in the first round one.
I'm telling you, he's going in the first round. 5 quarterbacks is going in the first round.
Oh, my goodness. That would be a massive mistake. All right. Pick 21, the Chargers, man. I just wish we can just skip this pick because I hate them so much. But I guess we'll say their pick, all right, because we got to give the Charger fans some love, I guess. Cornerback off the board, Mod, you got Deonte Banks, a guy who wasn't on our top 5 list, who we got a lot of flack for. Why are you picking Deonte Banks for the Chargers, man?
Man, I like Deonte Banks. He's gritty. He's like 6'2". The boy can move. He can cover. But
let's just be real, though, Mod. I'm sorry to cut you off, but is it because of Bijan?
No, not at all. I looked at this pick.
Yes.
One of the things that I did is I read up on the Chargers. I wasn't just making picks out here willy-nilly, because I know there's a couple of people who made some questionable choices in this draft, but no names necessary. But no, so Jackson is coming off of an injury. You got Samuel on one side. Another one of the rookies that they had a subpar season. He may get it right in the second year, but when we're in the NFL searching for titles, if it's the fifth, everybody being drunk is not what you want to accept. You know what I'm saying? You want to have a proven guy in there, somebody who can come in here and do damage, and that's the guy. That's the guy to me. He's on the board. He's off. I went ahead and I went with Deonte Banks.
I like the pick. I mean, he's definitely
Deonte Banks. I just think
he's definitely a first round corner.
I just think the Chargers will be fools to pass up Bijan. I just think they'd be fools. And Eckler wants out.
I kind of agree there. I had Deonte Banks going to the Ravens myself.
Bijan's not getting past 21. In real life, he ain't getting past 21. Teams are going to trade up to get him.
Did you say in real life?
In real life. This mock fantasy draft.
Not a mock land.
I'm talking about where millions of dollars is on the line. Multiple millions of dollars is on the line. Bijan Robinson is not getting past 21 with the Chargers. Point blank range, period. That's his basement.
To be honest with you, I don't think that's his. Be honest with you, I don't think that's his basement. I think he's gone long before 21. But we're talking about our picks and where he fell here. Right. So
what I'm saying, that's the lowest Bijan Robinson will in real life will fall is 21. He's not falling no more than 21.
Aren't they
you mean the highest fall?
Aren't they in contract negotiations with Eckler and they can't get a deal done?
No,
they're gonna cut him.
Requested a trade. Eckler wants out.
Eckler requested a trade, but I mean, again, you got Kellen Moore. I mean, the guy who's not known for running the ball. But like I said, honestly, I don't think Bijan makes it into the 20s at all. I don't even think he makes it past 15, 16. I don't think he makes it past Tampa Bay, to be real with you. But the gist of the matter is he was here on this pick. That was my pick. Thank you.
Bias.
I like Deonte Banks. I think J.C. Jackson's not going to be there very long, especially with the injury. One hates J.C. Jackson, even though he hates the Chargers.
To me, Deonte Banks doesn't fit the scheme. I don't think Brandon Staley's going to pick a corner like that. Honestly, I don't even think he fits it. To me, you double down on your investment. You double down on Justin Herbert. I don't even care if it's not Bijan Robinson. Get a receiver. Mike Williams is freaking hurt almost every week. Keenan Allen can't stay hehealthy. He's old.
Quentin Johnson,
Get another
Jackson
weapon.
Smith.
How about an
Invest
explosive
into Justin
receiver?
Herbert.
An explosive one, too. Like,
Hyatt.
Zay Flowers or
Zay
Jalen
Flowers.
Hyatt. I think Jalen Hyatt would fit nice right here, personally.
Heck, a great tight
That
end
would
would
be
fit
golden.
right here.
I would love Jalen Hyatt right here.
A great tight end that could catch the ball would be great right there too. A guy that could go across the middle, they'd be straight. But Bijan ain't.
And
going,
I wouldn't even mind.
That's what Bijan going. Right
or
there.
Bijan.
Bijan going right there. Bijan.
What are you gonna say, one?
So look, I was gonna say I wouldn't even mind a right tackle right here for the Chargers, like DeJuan Jones. I think this will be a good spot for him.
I like DeJuan.
Let's go. Let's move on to the Ravens, man. Jordan Addison, my best receiver in the class, man. I think the Ravens got to go here, dude.
Stop trying to appease Lamar.
Hopkins stuff, but
I mean,
you got to go receiver.
They have Jordan Addison already in Hollywood. They got him already. I mean,
and if they
small receivers.
No, Hollywood is in Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh well, they had him. Let's put it like this: in small, little fragile receivers.
But I think Jordan Addison's 6 foot. Hollywood like 5'9". But he's just skinny though. You're right about that. But they got Odell. It sounds like they gonna get D Hop, so they probably won't spend that first round capital on a receiver now.
Yeah. But you know that just
if they get D Hop, they if they go D Hop, of course they won't go receiver. But if they don't wind up getting D Hop, I'm going Jordan Addison. To me,
you can't bank on
he's
Odell.
the alpha in this class, probably next to Quentin Johnston. But I think Quentin Johnston's a more risk of a player to take right here. So I will go Jordan Addison. That's just me. I wouldn't mind if you just picked any receiver right here, though.
Hey, man, why y'all West Coast guys hate on Ohio State wide receivers, man? We the best in the business, bro. We the best in the business. We the best in the business. And guess what? We got the #1 guy next year. The #1, matter of fact, the #1 and the #2 guys next year.
Hey, I like Jackson Smith.
One of them ain't gonna hit. That's all that means. One of them ain't gonna hit.
You had Olave, Garrett Wilson last year. You got Jackson Smith and Juka this year. Yeah. Next year, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. and Emeka Buka. All of them gonna hit. They ain't losing.
Hey, they ain't all gonna hit. That's not how this works.
They all gonna hit.
Ohio State is like wide receiver. I said, one, I don't like the Jordan Addison pick. Getting back to it, I just don't like him that much as a prospect. I don't think he's a game changer like that. He's small. He's slow. I understand the logic though, because let's be real. Can you bank on Odell? I mean, he gets hurt. Yeah, so I like it.
You don't like the player, but you like the position.
I like the yes, I do. If you pick Jalen Hyatt right here, or you pick Quentin Johnston, I would like that. If they get D Hop though, they'll go somewhere else.
Yeah,
that would be scary for them to get Nolan Smith. That would be. I
feel
scary.
like they have Odafe away, who's kind of been underwhelming. Maybe that scares them off.
I don't want Nolan Smith in Baltimore. I don't want that.
To me, I think it'll probably be an outside of the box pick, but I was considering Kalijah Cansey from Pitt.
Oh,
I think that would be a crazy pick.
Good pick.
I don't think the Ravens would pick him as he's so small. Ravens just pick big guys.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he fits the Ravens like guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
I was thinking about it, but if they get D Hop, I would love the Kalijah pick for them. But I would
and Nolan Smith pair with the kid coming back from Michigan they drafted last year.
Yep, the other
exactly
from Hutchinson.
Yeah.
That's looking T-sizzleish. and that's not good in Baltimore. That's not good for Pittsburgh. When you got a T-sizzle, when T-sizzle's coming.
Oh, I forgot they had Ojabo. He didn't even play really.
Nope. Yep.
Okay, one. Who's next?
All right, so let's go Vikings. We're at pick number 23, Big G. You went Titan here. You went Michael Mayer. Yeah. Why'd you go here? Or Mayer, sorry.
They have to get Okay, so remember I told you 11 personnel is the thing, right? So what you're going to see is the metamorphosis of 11 personnel into 12 personnel. That you're going to have a tight end. You're going to be able to go double tight, move the guys around. One guy's going to stick close to the line of scrimmage. The other guy's going to go out, and you're going to be, what are you going to do? Because what they're going to run is a flare. They're going to run a flare offense. So you got Jordan Jefferson running the safety off. You got a tight end coming right behind him in the seam, and you got another one coming up underneath on the crossing route. You're at their mercy, you know. And Kirk Cousins, he needs weapons. You know, this might be his last year. He went Minnesota.
Well, but you're saying they're playing more receiver, like he'll play the slot receiver.
I
think they need a weapon though. They need some speed on the team.
They're gonna go 12.
Question: how much tape have you watched on Michael Mayer?
A whole lot.
Did you see him get separation?
Yes.
I haven't. I watched a lot of tape on him, man, and not just his highlights. God doesn't get a lot of separation for me.
Yes, he does.
He catches the ball, he gets open, but he doesn't get a lot of separation.
He was the best tight end in this class before Kincaid just came along lately.
And if you go back and you understand Notre Dame's scheme, Notre Dame requires their tight ends to block a lot. So what was going on was he was 1001 pushing down and then getting open late. In the NFL, he ain't going to have to do that. In the NFL, they're going to move him around, and he'll be able on the outside slot, or he won't be required to block down. He's just going to go get open. So that's a whole different ball game. And like Tate said, he's the number one tight end. The number one tight end. Michael Mayer, talent-wise, 10, 15-year starter, multiple Pro Bowl, he's going to cause problems. Because the new offense, like I said, is the 11 to the 12.
I get you. But look, I like the player. I like the fit. I like the logic. I do not like the value. The value doesn't fit whatsoever.
They just traded for Hawkinson too, though.
That's why I kind of don't like it, and I don't like Mayer because I don't think he gets open.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't fit the value. You don't pick a second string tight end at 23, and this tight end class is deep. It's super deep. So you can get a guy like Musgrave in the third round, maybe even fourth round. So right here, you go receiver. You need someone to replace Adam Thielen. The other dude that they have, Osborne, KJ Osborne, he's not the answer. I'm sorry.
He's a 3.
He's not.
He's a 3.
You need another guy with Justin Jefferson. You go Quentin Johnson. You go Zay Flowers. You go receiver.
So in the NFL, a body-catching wide receiver doesn't do well. And that's what Quentin Johnson. You know what a body-catching wide receiver is? Chase Claypool.
I understand
that. Chase Claypool.
Like any other wide receiver
Chase
left on the board.
I'm just saying, a body-catching wide receiver is Chase Claypool. You saw what happened in Pittsburgh. We hurried up, got up off of it. Get him out of there. And so that's why I don't like him. Yeah.
100%. You know? Who do you like that's left on the board, though, receiver-wise? Who do you like?
Zay Flowers or Jalen
You go
Hines?
Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers. You no questions asked.
Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers got to prove to me that he can't just run go routes. Because that's what he did
to me. It would even be a better situation for Zay Flowers because it'll be like if they're getting Stephon Diggs back because they're going to be able to motion him just like they did with Stephon Diggs. They're going to have two guys that can just interchangeable, bro. I would love receiving. Look, I don't hate the pick, Big G. I just don't like the value. That's it. I get your logic, though.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, like I said, I ain't tripping, but they're going to get a weapon for Cousins. Wide receiver, tight end, they're going to get a weapon.
They need to. After their disappointing playoff loss, they definitely need that.
Yeah. All right, let's go Jaguars. I personally love this player, man. And it'll be interesting if he went here. Pick 24, Jags, Brian Branch out of Alabama, safety. Tate, tell me why you picked Brian Branch.
Yeah, man. Jacksonville is on the come up. I think last year they lost a close, tough playoff game to Kansas City, if my memory serves me correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting. They're about to be in all these battles with these AFC quarterbacks. So you need players in defensive backfield that can kind of combat that. Jacksonville's defensive backfield is kind of old. C.J. Henderson didn't work a few years ago. Their first round pick, he's out of there. So I like Brian Branch back there with Andre Cisco at safety. He can also come up and play nickel. He's a piece you can move all around the defensive secondary. I mean, he can buy you a few snaps on the outside too if you need him to, but really between that free, that strong, and that nickel. So I like him as a piece there.
That's what I loved about the pick. Just the versatility.
I like it for this reason. I think if they wind up drafting this guy, this is going to be Kansas City Chiefs written all over it. That's why they're drafting him. Because to me, he's going to be the guy that spy Patrick Mahomes, which is a very tough duty to do. And I think Brian Branch can fit into that role perfectly and just play that near the ball spy player. You need him to play slot. You need him to play linebacker. Hey, blitz off the edge on third down right here. I got you. So I can't argue with the pick, bro. I love it.
I think out of the whole draft
Their
so
offense
far,
is
this is
set.
one. This is one of the picks that I think there's no argument at all. I think there's a consensus amongst us.
I heard that same thing about Van Ness too, so I must be in my GM bag, huh?
Yeah, I think you're doing something right. That's for sure.
But Brian Branch is if the Steelers wouldn't have made the moves that they made in the offseason, Brian Branch would have got a hard look at 17.
Yeah, it was a one time about 6 weeks ago. I probably wanted Brian Branch before free agency started.
Yeah. Mod and Max, you guys got anything to say about Brian Branch? Or you guys want to move on?
I love the versatility. I'm ready to pick my pick for the Giants.
All right. Pick 25. We moving along now, folks. Keely Ringo, whatever how you want to say it. Track star out of Georgia, cornerback. Max, why'd you go here?
He's big. He's physical. He can tackle. Yeah, he got burnt by Marvin Harrison in the playoff game in college, but he's a good corner.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? I mean, look, a couple years
lit
ago,
up like a Christmas tree.
Everyone a couple years ago roasted AJ Terrell alive for getting burnt by Jamar Chase. He worked out fine. He's big. He's physical. He plays in the Northeast. He's a tough kid. I like Keely Ringo a lot. I think the Giants need a corner. They have nobody. They got Adoree Jackson, who they're not excited about.
All I'm saying is that you're going to use that same energy against Ringo of him getting burned by Marvin Harrison. We got to use the same energy towards Christian Gonzalez. I don't think it matters, but some people want to play that game. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, that ain't me. That's not me. I'm not a hater. I'm not a Big Ten bias guy.
Hey, no, but let me tell you, Ringo's draft stock there's 3 guys whose draft stock has fell tremendously as far as if you listen to the talking heads. He's one of the 3 guys. So he might fall out of the first round.
I don't buy it. I think when their teams are going to look at 6'2", 4'3", 6 speed, he's got good tape. I like Keely Ringo. Let's go to the Cowboys pick because I want to roast this one alive.
Oh my God, yeah! Please go to it fast.
All right.
You know, one of the things that I have to say is that Danny Dimes needs a receiver, bro. Like, there's no way that if Quentin John or Zay Flowers is on the board and the Giants comes around to their pick, the Giants are gonna take Zay Flowers. They're gonna run up there to the podium super fast, like they got fire on their feet, and turn in that card for either Zay Flowers
any
or
other
Quentin
team.
Johnson.
I would agree with you.
It.
I would any other team I'd agree with you because I just don't think the Giants play a brand of football that's dependent on the pass. It's like it's kind of like Atlanta. I know they took Drake London, but like they could have went somewhere else and their team would have been the exact same thing.
And the Giants got Paris Campbell and Waller in the offseason. They straight.
And they got guys coming back. They had Wandale Robinson. Wandale Robinson's coming back.
They picking Ringo to shut down CeeDee Lamb.
And Hodgins is good.
That's why
Isaiah Hodgins, I like that
somebody
kid.
for Brandon Cooks. So they're in trouble. They still, they get CeeDee Lamb all they want. But
you know what? Stick to your team and pick this dumbass pick. Hurry up.
Well, so let's talk about that.
And one more thing on Ringo. Guys that are 6'2" that can run like a track star don't grow on trees. And that's a big reason why he goes in the first.
Very true.
Yeah. All right, Cowboys. Mod,
Understood.
explain. Bijan Robinson, Texans.
Well, you had Tony Pollard, who is right now on a. When we look at Tony Pollard right now, he hadn't signed a long-term contract, right? So we got him for $10 million, and we probably are not going to franchise tag him again next year. Ronald Jones, not the answer. So we're talking about, who we see right here in this draft. If really with our 26th pick, I've been saying this all day long. If our guy is not there, either we trade up or we trade back. I don't see us taking, anybody unless our guys are here. But what was here in front of me was Bijan Robinson, Quentin Johnson, two of the guys that I noticed on our big board. So Ronald Jones is not the answer. We got Malik Davis at running back. So you don't have any solid studs back there if Tony Pollard walks away. So if you get a generational talent like Bijan Robinson is, Bijan Robinson's comp, a lot of people have been trying to say Barry Sanders. I don't see Barry Sanders. What I do see is, I see a player with quick feet, great vision, upgraded. To me, he's like an upgraded Reggie Bush.
LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson.
Marshall Faulk or LaDainian Tomlinson?
He's a poor man's Marshall Faulk.
He's
to
great.
me.
He's
right.
great.
Can I please hate? Can I just hate this pick real quick?
I mean, you could hate it, but
let's hand the ball off to both Tony and Bijan on the same play. Why?
No,
what's your identity? You got
need,
this $50 million quarterback who just hands the ball off, and let's get another running back.
You need a running game. A lot of people in the league
round
right now have two running backs, and you need a running back that's going to be there for. We noticed the Steelers have showed us the way, right? Hold on, Max. The Steelers have showed us the way. You win on rookie contracts. You know what I'm saying? You get a young person. You get off of the people that's going to cost a lot. Why you think nobody's going after Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry costs a bag, and right now we're paying a franchise tag to Tony Pollard, who's gonna want a bigger contract, and we're not gonna do it because we're still kind of snake bitten behind Ezekiel Elliott's contract. So that's why I say the pick makes sense.
I think this pick is stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. I think it's just another cap, like a little feather.
I completely disagree, man.
It's another feather in the cap of we don't know what we are on offense. We're run team, pass team. We don't know, and it's again. I just don't like the pick. Bijan's a beast. Love the guy. He's a great pick. He's a great pick wherever he goes. But this is just dumb for the Cowboys.
And Max, you might as well get used to him being in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform because he's going number 10 to Philly.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I really don't have to worry about this. This is mock land. I'm not gonna let my anger get the best of me. I hate the Cowboys. But Mod, you're the same guy who's been telling me Zeke's coming back for the last 3 years.
I mean, excuse me, Juan, go ahead. What were you about to say?
No, I just completely disagree with the pick, man. Look, the player's great. We all know how great he is. No one in here needs to explain how great Bijan is. People may think he's not generational, but everyone knows he's a great running back to have on your team. No one's going to debate that. But for the Cowboys' sake, I will go this far. I think that there's like 4 teams in this draft that should not touch Bijan Robinson, and Cowboys are one of them. Like they need other things. Like go receiver. I'd rather them go quarterback here. Like I would not go Bijan. I would not go Bijan. So, no freaking way.
So I'm gonna tell you the pick, and I'm just gonna be honest. The pick that I wouldn't be mad if Dallas made it would be Darnell Washington, tight end out of Georgia. That would be a great pick for the Cowboys. That would be a great pick.
I feel like
no, in God's green earth, no way are we taking a tight end at 26.
I've heard enough. I like what I just heard from Big G1. Let's move on. I like what I just heard from Big G1. Let's move on. Let's let that be.
Mod is right. If Bijan was there, though, the Cowboys would take him,
of course.
But I think that he's there, and you taking him is just like Max said, mock land.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. I think it's mock land too. I don't think he makes it to us. I don't think he makes it. We
what
would
about
have to trade up to get him if we wanted.
What about Quentin Johnson? Could he have been a possibility? Quentin Johnson?
Yeah, I
Didn't you
actually
already
wrestle
look
between
through him?
them two. I like Quentin, and I'll talk about him because, of course, he was a chick. He's a pick coming up. But honestly, like I said, I wrestled. I like Quentin. I think Quentin is on our big board. He's from Temple, Texas. He's a good guy, man. So we'll talk about it later.
All right. One. Let's speed through these next 6.
All right, let's go to pick 27, and we got the Buffalo Bills, and I go receiver here. I go Zay Flowers. He's my second best receiver in the class to me. I love this kid, dude, and it goes back to one of my comparisons. I like to compare him to Stephon Diggs a little bit, just off of the plain fact that he's not going to be one of these like X-type receivers. You just put him on the outside, he's going to win like D-Hop. No, you got to move him around. You got to be creative. You cannot be in a stale offense, okay? And Buffalo, I want to give credit to Max with this. Max was saying it in like week 7, and I wasn't listening to him. I was disagreeing. He was saying the Bills don't have talent. Like, besides Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, what do they have on offense? They're not dynamic. Like, this whole Gabe Davis thing, it's not for real here. He's inconsistent. We need some dynamite. So whether it's Jahmyr Gibbs here or Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, you gotta go offense, bro. You gotta get some more spark into that offense. Give Josh Allen some help, man. That's why I'm going Zay.
I like the pick, Juan. I like that pick.
Enough said. 100%.
All right, 28 Bengals. Speaking of tight ends, man. Darnell Washington, Big G, goes tight end for the Cincinnati Bengals. Explain it.
It's the position of need. He's a freak of nature, right? He's 6'6", 265 pounds. He runs a legit 4.44 something in the 40-yard dash. And if you go and look on the tape, not just what he did in combine land, but like actual look on the tape, there was plays where he was trying to jump over the top of guys, on catches. I remember he just did something crazy to Oregon, right? But the problem with Washington, how he gets downplayed, is because Bowers, the other tight end, might be the best tight end we've seen in 10 years. That guy runs a 4.39, and is 6'5", 240 pounds. So I think in the league, you're going to see the true Darnell Washington. And I think the Bengals, that's the number one position of need. Could you imagine they're in 11 personnel and he's sitting down, and you got Jamar Chase on this side, and you run T. Higgins across the formation? What are you going to do? I mean, you got Jamar Chase on the outside. He's sitting down, and T. Higgins runs across. You're at their mercy. They've already shored up their offensive line, and oh, by the way, he's an extra offensive lineman, so he can block. So this kid is a perfect fit for Cincinnati.
Big G, do you feel like Darnell Washington makes it out of the first round? You feel like he's a lock for the first?
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. If he doesn't go in the first round, the Pittsburgh Steelers will run the car to the table. First pick, second round. They're going to take it.
Rocket Raccoon or Sha'Carri Richardson?
Either one.
Can we have Sha'Carri?
Matter of fact, what's the card is going to be sitting there when they walk in the morning to get ready for the draft. They're already going to have the card sitting there, posted, marked, and everything from Pittsburgh. Darnell Washington will be the pick at 32. So if he doesn't go off the Bengals at 28,
because I say
he's going to 32.
Because I say this, Big G, I feel like if the Bengals really want to play a power play right here and they go super ultra aggressive, I feel like Jahmyr Gibbs right here at 28, and then they trade back into the first round at pick number 31, and they pick up Darnell Washington or whatever tight end that they like. And I feel like they get their two guys and they end their night like that. I think that would be beautiful. They need a running back.
If they get Jahmyr Gibbs and Darnell Washington, man, I mean, I'm a Steeler fan, but oh my God. oh my God.
Yeah, that's gonna be deadly, man. Because like you said, they're probably gonna have to go in front of Pittsburgh. Because like you said, they're gonna run up that pick. Pittsburgh gonna probably pick them. Because I see that.
Yep.
Speaking of the devil, man. Speaking of Saints, Jahmyr Gibbs. Tate. Explain the pick, man. Why the Saints go Jahmyr Gibbs?
I think they just need more weapons, man. They got Derek Carr coming in there. We don't know, or do we know what's going to happen with Kamara?
No, we have no clue.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
If he gets a big suspension, I like this pick. As it stands right now, I'm not really a fan of it.
And that's what I'm thinking. That you don't know what's going to happen with him, and I mean they're a similar player. And if Gibbs hits, then you don't worry about Kamara. I mean, his legal troubles and all be damned. You let him go, you save all the money that you're giving him. At least some of it. It might be some dead cap hit, but you're saving it.
Yeah.
Then you're getting younger at the position. Now you got Olave out there. You got Gibbs. They had a real good tight end last year, Big G. I forgot who he was. He was catching a lot of touchdowns in fantasy.
Gosh, he played
Not
for
Taysom Hill.
Not Taysom Hill.
Oh,
No,
I know who you're talking about.
he used to play for the Rams, I think. Man, let me look it up just to make sure, because I want to make sure.
But yeah, so I just like that pick as Kamara insurance and just moving forward with the offense and the organization. I mean, you're paying Derek Carr that money, get off some of that money. You're not paying you saving some with Mike Thomas, and the Saints always have a great defense, and Dennis Allen's a defensive coach. So you just putting other pieces into that offense to get them back competing again like they're used to.
Jawan Johnson.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Jawan Johnson.
This is my least favorite tape pick.
Were you thinking about anyone else at this pick besides him?
They could use another receiver just because Michael Ohio State guy, Michael
Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Yeah. Michael Thomas is, who knows how he's gonna come back too. But so both picks would be for insurance picks and future picks. So I could have looked at Quentin Johnson here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I was here, I would have picked BJ Ojolari, Louisiana guy, go back to New Orleans State, and they lost Marcus Davenport, Trey Hendrickson over the last couple of years. Cameron is the shit now. So I would go edge and just still have that defense just monstrous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eagles back on the clock. And I know if this guy winds up falling to 30,
Jalen Hyatt,
man.
We need a third receiver. We need some speed. AJ Brown ain't a burner.
Jalen Hyatt, explain the pick, bro.
Yeah, Devontae Smith ain't a burner. AJ Brown's not a burner, even though I love him. I really like Jalen Hyatt, man. He can be the third receiver we need, a playmaker. Again, it's a luxury pick, so I like Jalen Hyatt. Look, they could go 100 different ways with the Eagles, but this is the guy I thought would make the biggest impact.
So if you have Jalen Hyatt sitting there and Nolan Smith sitting there, who do they take?
Well, I would depending on who they took in the first one, but I would think they would take the edge, the Eagles, and in real life, not in mock land.
Okay. I just wanted to see. I just want to see what you were thinking.
Okay.
Is he gonna wear 10 max?
Oh yeah, he got to wear.
Is he gonna wear 10 max like the
burner? Yeah, he's a burner. You got to wear 10. 10's reserved for Burns.
I love the pick. I think, to me, you get to do more things with Smith. I think it makes him to have a bigger year, because now Devontae Smith is not going to have to stretch the field all the damn time. They're just going to send Jalen Hyatt down there. And it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, that's what I like.
Straight go route.
Okay,
straight go route.
Yeah, straight go routes. Speaking of go routes, man, Chiefs are really good at that. Mod, you got him picking a receiver, Quentin Johnston, TCU wide receiver. Tell me why you gave the Chiefs Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, they're in need of a wide receiver. That's one of the things that they were looking for. Quentin is special. He's not generational, but he's special. His yak is ridiculous. Big G was talking about the fact that he catches with his body sometimes. That is a tendency of his, but I will say one thing. Who's more electric with the ball in their hands? He did Michigan dirty. I'm talking about straight up dirty. And he's one of those guys who I think will learn how to high point a football with the right wide receiver coach. And definitely, Andy Reid is up to that task. And you give my homeboy this type of talent, oh man, it's gonna get dangerous in Kansas City. I mean, when you get a receiver like Quentin, who is big, he's 6'4", runs a 4.5, probably faster than that on the football field, but explosive. Dog, if you look at his combine numbers, it was stupid. 41-inch vertical, 11.2 broad jump at the combine. That's explosion. That's somebody who have a high ceiling. And he's not the highest ceiling guy in this draft, but he's up there. He's top 5 and the highest ceiling guys in this draft. And I think this would be a great pick for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think it will be too. I think the pick is great, and if he doesn't wind up succeeding with the Chiefs, I think that's a big telling on anyway. Whoever was high on him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you can't succeed there. To me, wherever he's going, and I do think he's going to wind up going in the top 15. That's just how the NFL works. They love specimens like this. I would not touch him in the top 15, but NFL thinks different. Don't make him into something he's not. He's not a guy that's a jump ball guy. And whatever team is going to make him do that, it's not going to work out well. You're going to have to just get him the ball. Get him the ball in his hands. That's where he's best. His explosion, it all comes from yak yards, like you said, Mod. And he's not a jump ball guy, and he's never going to be. He's not comfortable with it. Let him play his game, and he'll succeed.
Matt, I hear you. And Juan, I like it. I like what you said, Juan. I desperately like what you said, but you got to understand, when you get to the league, anything that's not growing is dead. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to the league, you got to add that to your toolbox. You have to increase your catch radius because the windows are smaller. Quarterback just can't throw it and let you get it and let it get to your chest and you catch it and you make people miss. They're gonna have to throw you open, and sometimes that means it's gonna be above your head. So I think with a 41-inch vertical, bro, 40. He's already 6'4" in a 41-inch vertical, and I mean it's just ridiculous. I think he will add that to his game. I think that'll be something that will be added to his game, especially if you get a good wide receiver coach.
See, but this is the thing, though. It's like, that's what the great teams do. That's what the great coaches do. They take advantage of the bad coaches in the league try to do more with the player that they're not comfortable doing. Like a guy like Deebo Samuel. Imagine him in a system where he has to be the X guy. He's not going to be known as a Pro Bowler. He's not going to be Deebo Samuel. Imagine Deebo Samuel in that. It's just, it's dumb to do that.
Deebo Samuel didn't want to run the ball like that
either. Somewhere.
Deebo Samuel didn't want it to be a running back. That's one of the reasons why he's complaining.
But that's his game, though. But he got his money, and now he's not complaining. He just wanted to be compensated for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Chiefs, if they draft this guy, it's just like icing on the cake.
Yeah, agree.
They also had that one dude on their practice squad that got hurt. That was
Justin Ross. I like him.
Justin Ross from Clemson. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Burner.
That's crazy giving Pat Mahomes some big targets, man.
Juan, can we do an honorary 30-second pick because 31 picks in the first round is stupid?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Big G, you got the Steelers, man. You got your team. It's day 2. Who you picking?
Brian Brzee. Nobody's talked about him. He's probably the second best defensive lineman in the draft. The Steelers' Cam Hayward is long in the tooth. It's time to bring in his replacement. It's going to anchor on the defensive line for us for the next 10 to 15 years. Brian Brzee's nasty. I mean, just so you guys understand and know, he's a Pittsburgh Steeler pedigree. He plays football nasty with reckless abandon. He was a big-time recruit that they were trying to get to Ohio State, and Clemson offered him the bag, so we couldn't get him there. But we put defensive linemen out in Ohio State just like we put wide receivers out. So this kid was fitting Ohio State pedigree way before. He's going to fit that pedigree in Pittsburgh Steelers land. I love Brian Brzee at the first pick of the second round.
Yeah, and I think it's a good spot for him. This is where you take that chance. Look, the film wasn't good this year, but like I told Max on our defense alignment video, his sister passed away from cancer. Man, he was going through some shit. So I don't think anyone will be playing their best football when it comes down to stuff like that. So I like to give the kid the benefit of the doubt. I hate to because I'm kind of playing like both sides here. I don't like to put the off-field issues because we don't know who he is as, I don't know what happened. I'm just going off the film. And the film was bad. The film was. He didn't look like himself. He didn't look like that 5-star recruit you're talking about. But the year before that, the signs and the plays here and there is special. I get what you guys are seeing. I wouldn't touch him in the first round. I think second round right here is perfect risk. And I think the Steelers are one of the best teams to deal with stuff like that. Like he's going to get the coaching from Mike Tomlin.
But Cam Hayward's going to mentor him too.
Yeah.
That's the Cam Hayward's going to mentor him.
Perfect guy to go.
Yeah.
Part of the reason Jalen Carter would have fit perfect in Pittsburgh, like I said, at pick 5.
Yeah. Agreed.
Dude, is that the whole round? I mean, that's 31. That's the first round plus a pick. We over exceeded, guys.
Yes, that's the first round plus a pick, man. What if the draft goes this long, man? Only about 2 hours, wouldn't be too bad.
Well, it will. It's going to go from like 7 to 12 tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah. 5 hours. 5 hours.
Yeah, they got to drag this shit out. They can't just go run up to the board.
And the more drama there is, the more exciting it's going to get. So when teams start trading up, guys get traded on draft day, they're going to stretch it out. There's going to be some guy left in the back when we get it past pick 20, and every time the pick goes in, the camera's going to go on him. So, this must-see TV,
So anybody, any of you guys, 2 quick questions. Who makes the first trade tomorrow, and what player gets traded tomorrow?
Ooh.
I already can say that D-Hop was fake news. I was researching it while I was quiet, and I was looking at a lot of the Twitter feeds and a lot of people that was asking what's real. It was fake. It was a dude that had a fake blue account. But I think Arizona, to answer your question, I think Arizona does what me and Big G have been saying all this time. I think they trade back. And I think I don't know who would be their trade partner, but I definitely believe they trade back.
I agree. That's the pick to me that gets moved. I think a player that gets traded, I got a list of 3: Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and D-Hop. I think D-Hop's name isn't fake news. I think he's going to be on the move at some point.
But yeah, I believe he gets traded, but it's not going to Baltimore.
Maybe not.
Baltimore don't have the cap for it.
No.
As a matter of fact, I mean, he's the cap hit, unless they restructure, and because anything could happen if a team restructures.
Yeah.
So I think that the Houston Texans is going to trade.
Guys to look out for.
I think the Houston Texans are going to
trade up at that second pick, right?
I think they're going to get off at 2.
Yeah.
I think that they feel that they can get their quarterback at 12. And so they just I think they're going to move.
Because you got to be in Hendon Hooker. That's not realistic.
No, I mean I just think that they feel that either Will Levis, Hendon Hooker, or even Anthony Richardson is going to be there at 12. And I think that they feel that they're not in love with CJ Stroud. If they go Bryce 1 at 1, Houston don't want no part of CJ Stroud. So I think that Houston's going to be the team that move. They're going to
So what do they do with 2?
They're going to trade. They're going to trade off of it.
Who would
want to?
I think there's a couple of teams. Atlanta Falcons would jump up. Indianapolis Colts would jump up. Las Vegas Raiders would jump up. Washington Commanders would jump up. Tennessee Titans would jump up.
Tennessee's a good one.
So you got to look at what it would cost.
But they're in the same division though.
Right.
Yeah. And you got to look at the cost, man. A lot of people, that's a lot. That's going to be a lot to pay to move up, bro.
Too.
Yeah, but it happens every year.
Hey, Chicago paid a couple years ago for
Yeah.
Mitch.
Yeah,
It happens every year. It happens
Yeah,
every
you got to
year.
just like throw the smoke screen. You just got to pump the smoke screen. But you know what's crazy is we're entering, and this is what I'm going to say. This is my final thought. I think the crazy thing to me is remember Baker's draft, how we heard it was Sam Darnold was the number 1 pick, Josh Allen. Tomorrow we could wake up and we could be like, oh, actually the whole pick time was Anthony Richardson. Dumbasses. Like, you guys didn't know.
I mean,
I
it
don't
could
think
be.
we don't know it's Bryce Young. We really don't know.
When was the last time that they didn't tell you who the pick was the day before?
Baker Mayfield's the last time I really remember it. Was it this up in the air? Because Glenn Dorsey, I'm not going to let nobody know. Keeping it close to the chest.
Yep. And I think he was scared to take the Baker Mayfield pick.
Yeah.
Who was number 1 last year?
Trayvon Walker?
Trayvon Walker.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we didn't really know that time either, but there was
we didn't really know.
day of the draft. You hear the rumblings.
So you guys, I'm bugging. Like, you know, when I look at it, Quentin Johnson to me is he's a first round receiver. I'm still baffled how he didn't get an invite to New York.
Because they know he ain't going in the first
I don't
round.
think he's going in the first round because they pulled a team, so enough teams probably didn't have him.
Yeah, he's not on the board.
I don't understand. I don't understand. He's a first round talent.
I disagree.
Big
First
G.
round grade.
I disagree.
What's up?
Hold it up.
For the bias?
You know what he's doing.
Bias.
Texas guy.
Yeah,
Texas guy.
Yeah, for the bias. But
I'm gonna say
like
my bias. I'm gonna get my bias out the way. I'm close to the vest with the AFC West, of course. I'm gonna say 2 players to watch out for to get traded. All right, number 1, LA Chargers, Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
watch out for him to get traded.
Go.
And then number 2, from the Las Vegas Raiders, watch out for Hunter Renfrow getting moved tomorrow. I would not be surprised.
I can see it. I can see it for a 3rd or 4th round pick. I can see it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
I
it,
can see
guys.
it.
So same time next year.
All right.
Same time next year.
This was
Hey,
fun, man. This was fun.
It's been fun to be part of
fun,
the
man.
Max and Wine cast. Get some
Most definitely,
West Coast exposure out here.
I feel like we know it all.
Y'all know a lot.
Well,
It helped by having the know-it-alls run with you, man. It helped by having the know-it-alls run with you.
100%.
yeah, exactly. I want to give a big thanks to Mod, Tate, Big G, the Know It All podcast, man. We appreciate you guys coming on, bro. Had fun on here. 2 hours in, all 31 plus the 32 pick in the second round. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Comment down below. We appreciate anyone that's been in the live the whole time, bro. Much love to you guys. And catch us tomorrow. Me and Max are going to be doing the whole first round. I'm going to be in the dungeon with Max. Hopefully my internet doesn't fucking haunt me from over there because it's been shitty today. But we hope, man, we're gonna have a good show for you guys, man.
Get those hamsters running.
And we'd like to say, you know, we appreciate you guys having us on too. Know-it-alls will be live during the draft as well. We're going to be getting it in. So, you know, watching it with you guys and, man, appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Love you, Max. Appreciate you, Juan. Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Make sure the links down in the description. Follow Know It Alls. I got all their links down there. So go ahead and check them out, man. We out. Peace.